January the 26th, with the planetary alignment of 6 planets, is the choice point of those elements of humanity who will make the choice to continue to play the third dimension game of matter, of dense physicality, continuing to ignore the connection, the callings to the connection of their soul, which ultimately leads them to spirit, a reunion with their spirit, a reunion with God. That is what this planetary alignment of the 6 planets without Mercury represents January 25th. Ahriman, the forces of matter, the choice point, the timeline of World War III, of the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, that timeline that will lead humanity, that portion of humanity who continues to refuse the connection to spirit. And yes, this is a many people trapped within the enslavement protocol of organized religion, who think that they are doing God's work. They're not doing God's work. They are ignoring spirit, and they're continuing to play the game of ego, of matter, of physicality under the guise of religion, or spirituality rather. But religion is the deception, the deceptive apparatus that allows people to operate in a self-justified manner without really ever changing or evolving in a spiritual sense. But that is what January 25th represents, the choice point 1 for humanity. And the Temple Mount of Jerusalem is the symbolic representation of that choice point. Organized religion, Christian against Muslim, World War III, Density 3, failing to evolve and connect with their spirit, and realize that this third dimension world of matter is simply an illusion. It is not the highest reality, but it is the reality that most people are ensorcelled with. They're imprisoned by the reality reported by their 5 senses. But matter, January 25th, is that choice point. Matter is a product of the spirit. Spirit, the emanations of spirit, the spiritual realm, God's realm, the mind of God. That is the highest mind, the highest echelon of existence, the highest emanation, close to source. Matter is a product of the spirit. And this is the message, though, contained in the allegory of Adam and Eve. Eve being fashioned from Adam's rib. Matter comes from spirit. Matter is a condensation of the forces of the spirit. Yeah, so Adam is not an individual man and Eve is not an individual woman. They are both symbols. And this is leading to the choice point 2 for humanity in February 28th, when another planetary alignment, I'm talking about all directly in alignment, as all of your chakras, all of your energies, all of your intentions are integrated in alignment. But there will be that taking place February 28th with 7 planets, to include Mercury, the messenger planet. That will take place February 28th, and that will be the choice point of humanity for those who continue to keep their own counsel, continue to maximize their connection to spirit, doing everything they can in their own power, minding their own business, every day waking up with gratitude, exhibiting perseverance, grace, making the choice to be an instrument of God's will. making the choice to persevere while the broad swath, the broad majority of humanity will make their choice point at the end of this month in January 25th. But those of us who choose, make the choice to continue to persevere to choice point 2 on February 28th, when the grand alignment of 7 planets, this time including Mercury. The first alignment did not include Mercury at the end of this month. That is the choice point that most they'll feel they have arrived, that their travels or their sojourn and all of their trials and tribulations have, they finally made it, and this is what their choice point is all about. Continuing on with the same sideshow, the same antics, denying their own inner divinity and exteriorizing and looking outside of themselves and being led down the path of deception by the agents of the external world, who will lead them into World War III, as symbolized by the Temple Mount of Jerusalem. Now, the second point is symbolized by the Great Pyramid of Giza, which was not a tomb. It was not meant to intern dead bodies of pharaohs, and it is an initiation. It was a great structure that served a lot of purposes, but also chiefly served as an apparatus of initiation, of individuals realizing the reality of their soul, of their spirit essence beyond the 5 senses, their ka, their ba, of embracing the sekhem, their power, their spiritual power, their God force. This is the second initiation on February 28th, represented by the Great Pyramid of Giza. But you must understand that this all comes down to matter and spirit. Those basically living their lives under the delusion of matter being the only reality to existence, but spirit, completely just ignoring their spirit, their inner voice from God, ignoring that. And the second choice point for humanity is about spirit, those who have persevered. God created the Adamic race, which is the race of spirit. The original Elohim, the sons who came and mated with the human animal, the animal Eve. This is what this all represents. But the blending of spirit and matter. But one of the race of man mated with an animal of the earth. I'm talking about the spiritual race of man, the Adamic race, mated with an animal of the earth and crossed blood. This is where man became human. Eve gave birth to Cain and Abel. She didn't know who the creator was, so she said, I have gotten a man from the Lord, thinking the Lord was the Adamic man who was her mate. When Cain killed Abel, he revealed the animal nature of his mother. He started the practice of murder that has expanded to a point now where people can vaporize thousands of others with atomic and hydrogen bombs and so on and so forth. That is why the people of the earth are called humans. The Adamic sons of God knew the tiger as a killer among beasts. The name for tiger was Hu, H-U. Most of the people on the earth today are crossbreed descendants of the true Adamic sons of God, as originally created, and the animal race of Eve. That is why you have an earthly, dense animal body and an inner body of created reality as God made you. Your Atman, as the Vedic scientists call it, your inner spiritual light body. The truly created men and women of the Adamic race of man have been watching the people on the earth for thousands of years. Their scout ships have been in the sky, the orbs. It's all coming down to a great show and this great choice point. And you have a choice between to follow your animal material destructive side You have a choice to make. And the first choice is at the end of this month. Most people have already made this choice. They don't know any better. They will go off to other planets, third dimensional realities. But you have a choice to make. You either accept the Creator's Adamic constructive part of you, your eternal light body, your spiritual source connected awareness, or you recognize the physical human's destructive influence of the Eve ancestry. The Adamic race of man typifies the combination of spirit and substance into form. Matter and spirit are the same thing, only in opposite manifestation. Matter is energy, spirit condensed, and energy is matter in solution. Earth is polarized throughout infinite space, and both follow a pattern of forms. Space is the infinite ocean of intelligence, creative spirit. And this is the choice that we have to make. Most have made their choice. But if you persevere in spirit and paying attention to your spirit and cultivating your connection to spirit, keeping the Great Pyramid of Giza as your symbolic reference point of initiation, and persevering to the end of February 28th, when the grand 7-planet alignment takes place with the Hermes messenger Mercury planet, Thoth Jehuti planet, the great 7th planet added to the true divine planetary alignment, you will make it your choice point for the golden age of humanity. And then we continue to evolve. We continue to evolve. If you make it through the next 10 years of this existence, you will live eternally. Your physical, you will live eternally. You will have the option to have this physical body perfected in the light codes that are coming in as your temporary housing, as you need to check back in for whatever reasons. The higher 5th dimensional spirit born people can come back and check on their other loved ones and people, their friends that are still within this 3rd dimension duality. But that is the great choice point, the great splitting points. Those who follow the Temple Mount of Jerusalem as their symbolic choice point, and what all that represents for 3rd dimension, hell on earth, World War III, etc., or the spiritual choice point, your Adamic creative inner awareness, your source connected awareness. And as you rise in vibration and frequency and knowledge and consciousness, ever expanding, that is the purpose for the true spiritual existence of the spirit within matter, is to continually learn your lessons and evolve your consciousness and expand. Namaste, namaskaram.